Today, we step into Romanian folklore, a world of mysterious spirits, fierce creatures, and timeless lessons, where ancient myths intertwine with reality and the unseen shapes the lives of those who believe. Come along and discover all the creatures that lurk within. Strigoi. The Strigoi are among the most feared and iconic creatures in Romanian folklore, deeply ingrained in the beliefs of rural communities, especially in regions like Transylvania and Wallachia. These entities are believed to be restless spirits of the dead, rising from their graves to torment the living or drain their energy. The myth stems from ancient fears tied to improper burial rituals, unresolved conflicts, or unfulfilled lives. Strigoi are depicted as pale, emaciated figures with glowing red eyes, sharp fangs, and sometimes bat-like wings. In some tales, they appear as shadowy, incorporeal beings, almost impossible to spot in the darkness. These creatures are often associated with illness, strange deaths, and other unexplained misfortunes in villages, serving as a way for communities to rationalize tragedies. Interestingly, the Strigoi is the prototype for the modern vampire, a creature that has gained worldwide fame. The legendary story of Dracula, popularized by Bram Stoker, is deeply rooted in Romanian culture and the Strigoi myth. The figure of Dracula, inspired by the historical figure Vlad the Impaler, combined with Romanian vampire folklore, propelled the concept of blood-drinking undead creatures into global consciousness, making vampires a universal cultural phenomenon. In Romanian tales, the Strigoi play a sinister role, preying on humans by drinking their blood or sapping their life essence. They are also thought to bring plagues or disasters wherever they appear. Villagers used various rituals to protect themselves, including staking the body of a suspected Strigoi, sprinkling holy water, or even burning the corpse to prevent it from rising. These practices reflect humanity's deep-seated fears of death and the supernatural. Muma Paduri. Muma Paduri, translated as Mother of the Forest, is a mystical figure deeply tied to the dense woodlands of Romania, especially in the Carpathian region. Her legend is often a cautionary tale for children and travelers, warning them of the dangers lurking in the forest. She is depicted as a grotesque, hunchbacked old woman with long, tangled hair, claw-like hands, and glowing, piercing eyes. Some versions of the tale describe her as a shapeshifter who can appear as a beautiful maiden to lure her victims deeper into the woods. The origins of her myth likely stem from early society's reverence and fear of nature, particularly the unknown dangers of untamed wilderness. Muma Pădurii plays the role of a trickster and a punisher. She ensnares those who disrespect nature or lose their way, leading them astray until they succumb to exhaustion or despair. In some stories, however, she aids those who prove respectful or resourceful, highlighting her dual role as both a guardian and a menace. Moroi. The Moroi emerges as a spectral being or vampire-like creature, closely linked to the Strigoi, but distinct in its role and origin. Found in various regions, particularly Transylvania and Oltenia, the Moroi is often associated with the spirits of unbaptized children or those who died tragically and could not find peace. Moroi are often described as ghostly apparitions or shadowy figures, though in some tales, they take the form of a pale, emaciated child or a ghastly version of their living self. Legends suggest that their restless spirits arise at night, haunting homes, livestock, or even draining the vitality of the living. Their myth likely originates from fears surrounding improper burial rites and the importance of spiritual cleansing through religious sacraments. The Moroi's role is primarily to terrify and drain life, symbolizing unresolved grief or guilt in communities. Rituals to appease or banish the Moroi include prayers, exorcisms, and ensuring that burial rites are performed properly. These tales underline the deep connections between folklore, mortality, and faith in Romanian culture. Capcaun. The Capcaun is one of the most fearsome and well-known figures in Romanian folklore, particularly in the tales originating from Moldova and Muntenia. Practically an ogre, the Capcaun is massive and solid, a creature of raw power and menace whose very presence strikes fear into the hearts of those who encounter it. This monstrous being is described as a hulking humanoid, sometimes with the head of a dog, glowing eyes, and a grotesque appearance that amplifies its terrifying aura. Its immense size and brute strength make it nearly impossible to defeat through conventional means. Often portrayed as a solitary dweller in dark forests, caves, or remote mountains, the Capcaun is both a predator and a guardian of treasures. Famous in Romanian fairy tales, the Capcaun is particularly notorious for abducting children and princesses, keeping them captive in his lair until a hero rises to defeat him. This trope likely stems from a mix of historical fears of invaders, who may have worn animal-like masks or grotesque helmets, and the need for symbolic villains in folklore. Over time, these fears transformed the Capcaun into a mythical antagonist. Its role as a kidnapper and menace embodies the ultimate trial in many heroic tales, symbolizing the tests of strength, courage, and intelligence that protagonists must face. Defeating the Capcaun often leads to the rescue of the innocent or the recovery of great treasures, cementing its place as one of the most enduring and iconic villains in Romanian storytelling. Samka. Samka is one of the most terrifying entities in Romanian folklore, particularly feared by women and children. Found in rural tales across Muntenia and Moldavia, she is a malevolent spirit linked to disease, childbirth complications, and insanity. She is described as a hideous old hag with long, matted hair, fiery eyes, claw-like fingers, saggy skin, and teeth sharp as daggers. In some versions, she can transform into a nightmarish beast, growing wings or talons, and is said to appear in the dead of night to torment her victims. Legends say her appearance is enough to drive someone mad. The origins of Samka likely stem from ancient fears surrounding the dangers of childbirth and childhood diseases in pre-modern societies. She is said to prey on pregnant women, causing miscarriages or endangering newborns, and her name was invoked in whispered prayers for protection. Rituals involving priests, holy water, and charms were performed to keep her at bay. Samka represents humanity's fear of the uncontrollable forces of life and death, embodying a warning to respect the mysteries of the natural world. Ursitoarele are in essence fairies in Romanian folklore, closely linked to the fate of newborns. These benevolent yet mysterious beings play a vital role in traditional practices, with their stories passed down through generations in lullabies and rituals surrounding childbirth. They are described as three ethereal women, stunningly beautiful, dressed in glowing, shimmering garments, and surrounded by an otherworldly light. They are believed to visit a newborn's cradle, usually at night, to decide the child's destiny. Each of the three has a specific task. One spins the thread of life, another measures its length, and the third cuts it, finalizing the child's fate. The origins of the Ursitoarele stem from ancient pagan beliefs about fate and the unseen forces that influence human lives. Families would often leave offerings such as bread, honey, and wine by the cradle as a sign of respect and to secure the fairies' favor. These magical beings symbolize the mysteries of life and the hopes tied to a newborn's future, blending divine intervention with human tradition in Romanian folklore. Zmeu. The Zmeu is a fearsome adversary often featured in heroic tales across Wallachia and Moldavia. This monstrous being serves as a metaphor for greed, tyranny, and the obstacles a hero must overcome. The Zmeu is depicted as a towering, dragon-like humanoid with immense strength, sharp claws, and the ability to wield fire. In some variations, he possesses wings or magical powers, making him an almost invincible foe. He often resides in castles or fortresses, hoarding treasure and abducting maidens, particularly princesses, whom he desires as brides. The myth of the Zmeu originates from ancient Indo-European legends of dragon-slaying heroes, with its Romanian adaptation reflecting local values of bravery and justice. Heroes, like Făt Frumos, the Romanian Prince Charming, must defeat the Zmeu to rescue captives or restore order. This creature plays the role of the ultimate antagonist, embodying greed and oppression, while also serving as a test of the hero's strength, intelligence, and virtue. Balaur. The Balaur is one of the most iconic mythical creatures in Romanian folklore, symbolizing chaos and destruction. Found in tales across all regions of Romania, the Balaur is often depicted as a rival to heroes or gods. This creature is described as a multi-headed dragon with immense wings, armored scales, and the ability to breathe fire or summon storms. Depending on the story, it can have 3, 7, or even 12 heads, each regrowing when cut, making it nearly impossible to kill. The Balaur typically dwells in caves, rivers, or remote mountains, guarding treasures or sacred items. The Balaur's legend likely originates from ancient myths of chaos monsters, similar to dragons in other cultures. It represents the untamed forces of nature and the dangers of greed or hubris. Heroes must defeat the Balaur to restore balance, secure treasures, or save their loved ones, making it a central figure in tales of bravery. While primarily destructive, the Balaur's role also emphasizes the importance of harmony between humans and the natural world. Iele. The Iele are mysterious, otherworldly beings in Romanian folklore, often associated with the supernatural beauty of nature. Their presence is widely spoken of in regions like Transylvania, Wallachia, and Oltenia. These enigmatic spirits are known to haunt forests, glades, and riverbanks, appearing only under the moonlight. The Iele are depicted as stunningly beautiful women with long flowing hair, translucent dresses, and an ethereal glow that enhances their unearthly allure. They are often barefoot and dance in hypnotic circles, leaving scorched or enchanted grass where they tread. However, their beauty masks a dangerous and vengeful nature. Legends of the Iele likely emerged from a mix of pagan fertility rites and fears of wild, untamed nature. They are said to lure men with their enchanting songs and dances, only to leave them bewitched, mad, or even lifeless. Their role is dual, both as nature spirits who punish disrespect and as seductresses who test the moral strength of their victims. Protection rituals, like wearing garlic or carrying iron tools, were often used to ward off their charms. Pricolici. The Pricolici is one of the darker creatures in Romanian folklore, rooted in beliefs from Transylvania and Moldavia. Unlike the Strigoi or Moroi, the Pricolici is not a restless spirit, but a cursed being, a human who transforms into a monstrous wolf-like creature after death. The Pricolici is depicted as a large, shadowy wolf with glowing eyes, razor-sharp fangs, and an air of pure malice. It is believed that wicked individuals, murderers, criminals, or those who lived cruel lives are cursed to return as Pricolici after death. These creatures roam the night, spreading fear, attacking livestock, and sometimes even hunting humans. The origin of the legend is tied to ancient beliefs about werewolves and curses. The Pricolici represents the idea that evil deeds in life do not go unpunished, with the curse continuing into death. Villagers would often bury suspected Pricolici with special rites, such as placing garlic in the coffin or staking the body, to prevent their transformation. This creature plays the role of both a cautionary tale and a personification of punishment for those who defy moral order. Cloanța. Cloanța is one of the most recognizable witches in Romanian folklore, especially in Wallachia and Muntenia. She is a malevolent crone who embodies the archetype of the evil witch, feared for her dark magic and cunning nature. Cloanța is portrayed as a hunched old woman with gnarled hands, a hooked nose, and scraggly white hair. Her eyes are said to gleam with malicious intelligence, and she often carries a staff. In some tales, she lives in a shabby hut deep in the woods, surrounded by magical artifacts and charms. The origins of Cloanța stem from ancient fears of witchcraft and the unknown, blending pagan and Christian influences. She is often depicted as a trickster or antagonist in stories, using her magical powers to curse, deceive, or harm those who cross her. However, in some tales, she offers wisdom or assistance in exchange for a steep price. Her role is that of both a malevolent force and a warning figure, symbolizing the dangers of meddling with dark magic or disrespecting the mysteries of the world. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you found it interesting, give this video a like and hit subscribe to uncover more mythical tales.